Hi everyone. So I'm going to do a quick video. This is going to be a chart video on Britney Spears. So I thought we can look at her chart, see what's coming up for her, especially the court case and everything around, and just look at her chart as a person so we can better understand her as well. So I am recording this on Zoom so that I am able to share my screen with you so we can see the chart that I do use for her. So let's just share my screen. Share. Let's go to, okay. So this is Britney Spears' chart, the time that I found on the internet that I'm using. So I'm using the 2nd of December, 1981. The time that I've looked up on the internet is 1:30 in the morning in America, in Mississippi. So as you can see, what I've got here for Britney is that, so I always start, I'm going to do, and when I do these readings for someone who gets me to type them up, I actually do like a 9-page report. So I go in quite deep and a lot of research. So right now, I'm probably not going to go as much deep as that because it would take too long. But this video will just be where the charts are, what it means for her. We can still find a lot of information out with what I'm going to do and show you how I read the chart. So we start with the personality first. Show the ascending, which is this line here. She's an ascending Libran, going by this chart, with a sun in Sagittarius, and then she's got the moon in Aquarius there. So having it ascending in a Libra, so she has a nice appearance, and she comes across as a nice person, and she does. When we see her in the public, you know, from back from before, you know, when we first saw her, and even now, she does come across as being a very, very nice person, non-judge, like argumentative, wanting to please people, like she's always about her fans and wanting to please them, and things like that. Comes across as a very nice person, you know, and likes things to be even as well. Now, being a Sagittarius, and you will find a lot of people in Hollywood, or in the media, like that are, you know, Hollywood media, some sort of like TV appearance, they would have a Sagittarius. Usually they have a Sagittarius moon, sun, something Sagittarius ascending. There's some, for most of them are. Either that, or you find Geminis as well. Because Sagittarius are the pretty people. They're the actors and actresses of the zodiac. They love to travel. They are the risk takers. They like to take risks. The Sagittarians, they are young and youthful people. They like to be free. They like to be trapped. So they are very. I love Sagittarians. I get along with them very well. So I would probably get along with Britney Spears if I was a friend of hers. Because I'm an Aquarian, it's kind of a little bit of a similar trait there with Aquarians. But yeah, she's a fire sign. She just wants to have fun, and this is able to help her to perform. The performer that she is being a Sagittarius. That really does help her. Now, with her moon, there is an Aquarius. So there would be a bit of awkwardness about her because, you know, while she's got this aspect of being this very social butterfly, bubbly person, she's got this moon, this Aquarian aspect, which could make her a bit awkward as well. And also emotionally, you know, she's be humanitarianism, should be like to do things her own way, very different, as well. Her emotions would be quite, she wouldn't let her emotions get better of her. Okay, so she'd be able to keep a composure there with her emotions, because Aquarians can come across or have a reputation of being a little bit cold, and it's just an Aquarian thing. I am an Aquarian myself. So that's sort of how we go for her personality. As well, she's just, you can see she's a very unique person, and we can see that with the moon there. But she wouldn't be, depending where's her Mercury. She would be able to keep her emotions in check being there. And I mean, let's face it, unless as a couple of years ago when she'd have that big breakdown, which I dare say, I can see in her chart why that was. But for now, like as we see her now, she doesn't really show much emotion. Like when we see her, even though there's some of those videos that we see on Instagram, some of them are a bit funny, but her emotions are sort of in check, if that makes sense. Okay, so then we go here to the first house. So I'm going to start, because I like to keep things in order. So we're going to start in the first house here, and I'm going to look at the natal planets first, and then we'll look at the transits and what's happening around her. So the first house here. So she's got here Saturn, and she's got the Pluto there. She's got Jupiter as well in the second, but I will add that to the first because it can go both houses because it's just so close there. Okay, and just in case the time is a little bit out. But I do have a feeling Jupiter should be in a second, which it is in this chart. So I can see that with Saturn there, she's a worrier. So she's a person that will worry a lot. With Saturn being there and with Pluto being there, she's going to be someone who she has a bit of a temper, a big temper, I dare say. While I can see there's an aspect which I'll get to later on, which she can hide her temper, but when she does get angry, I wouldn't want to be around her because she does have Pluto in that first house is temper. And the Saturn makes a warrior. Now, when she was actually born, these planets can indicate that she may have had a very slow birth, and her birth may have even been life-threatening as well, with Pluto being there. So, and also, and I think this is correct actually, with Pluto being there, or with these planets, she might hurt the family, might not have had a lot of money either. So I mean, I am a Britney fan, and I think that is correct. I don't think they did have a lot of money when she was born. So yeah, that's where her is. And don't forget, I always say astrology charts. This is like your blueprint. It's like this is what you've sort of agreed to in your life, and because you'll be born at a certain time for a certain reason. Okay, it's not by mistake. We are born at a certain time, and it is a reason for that. So it's all in divine timing. So yeah, so with those planets there. Okay, now they also can indicate some health issues there for her throughout her life as well. Okay, having those planets there in the first house, it also can go on with health. Now, here in the second house, which is the earnings, and also self-worth. So Jupiter there, and Jupiter also in the first house can bring about a person who is a lucky person, as I think she's a bit of a lucky person. But being in the second house too, number one, her self-worth is probably going to be quite good, so quite confident. And also there in the second house, Jupiter is abundance. So she's actually, second house is very lucky with having it in the earnings. So she's going to be someone that always, I guess, works, earns money, gets money in, abundance of money. Now, as well as that, it's also going to be that, Jupiter in the first house, and always looks forward to fun. If it does indicate, and I feel like it does sort of have some sort of energy there. So it does indicate forward to fun in the first house. But second house is the abundance. She's a lucky person who gambles pays off. So as you see, when she was younger, wanting to start, she'll be on TV, Mickey Mouse Club. So things that she gambles off, whatever she wants to do with her earnings, it sort of pays off. And we can kind of see that in most of in the career choices that she's made, or any gamble that she has, most things to do with work, it kind of pays off for her what she does. And it's because she's got the Jupiter there. She's very lucky to have Jupiter there in that house. Now, the third house, which is the house of siblings. So she's got here a number of planets. So she's got the Uranus there, the Mercury, the Sun, and she's got Neptune. So with the Uranus there, it says, number one, she's a family rebel, the rebel of the family. I think she is. I think that's quite clear that she is. And also it can be unexpected things happening with her siblings. So, I mean, we don't hear much about her siblings, or I don't hear much about them, but there'll be unexpected things that come up with her and her siblings. Okay. Now, with the Mercury here, She's a natural communicator, and a very talkative companion towards her siblings as well. So she feels most comfortable talking to her siblings, okay? And because her Mercury is also in the Sagittarius, she's a very good communicator. She would be a person who thinks very freely as well. The way she thinks, she probably thinks, yeah, it's okay to take risks as well, but the way she would articulate herself would be very good. She's a very good communicator with having Mercury there in this house and also in this star sign too. And especially she feels most comfortable talking to her sisters and brothers out of anyone else in her life. It's not her mom, it's not her dad, it's actually her siblings. Okay. Now also having the sun in this house here also indicates that she's the child that shines. And as we can see, out of the siblings, I mean, I know her sister had some sort of TV career, but Britney shines. She outshines them because she's got the sun there. It's about her as well. Now, also, the sun can indicate the father. So her dad would be someone who's maybe like a youthful person, a risk taker. Maybe he likes to travel as well. The fire sign, like maybe a fire aspect there with him, like money. It's like something about money with him, but I know what's going on. Then with the relationship with her father, it could be a relationship, like a sibling relationship. So they might get along like he might be like a annoying little brother or big brother to her. It's like some sort of sibling relationship that they would have or something like that. Then also here with Neptune, in this one, she could also be difficult to with her siblings, difficult to find or to catch. So they might actually find it difficult to like get a hold of her. They'd be distance apart too. Neptune I see as a dissolve. So the relationship with them, they don't live together. There's distance between them, and she's got so many planets in this house, so I'm having to read them all, and I'm sure like there might be one sibling that she's really close to, one that she's not. It's about siblings mean a lot to her. Having the sun here, that's where it sort of lights up out of her life, having this there. Now, in the fourth house, we've got here the home and family. Now, she's got Venus here in the fourth house. So Venus in the fourth house can indicate her home would be a nice home. If you were to walk into her home, she probably have nice things around. It would be a nice home. She would love her home and loves being in it. And the home and family, she's a person who's very close to her family, loves her family as well. And we got the, she has the money out of the family too, because Venus has a money aspect with it as well. And in the end, you know what, the way she ends up finding love couldn't be through family. So I know she's meeting like certain people now around her, but in the end, who she actually finds love, it could well and truly be through a family friend or through family in the end. And then with that Venus there, but she definitely would get along growing up. She probably did get along, have a good family life, but they probably would have moved around a lot. Just I'm looking at other transits that would have been there when she was younger. In the fifth house here, we've got the moon. And in the fifth house is about relationships and children. And in this aspect, she actually gets quite emotional when it comes to relationships, and it comes to her kids too. She gets quite emotional with them. Having the moon here is quite good. This is why she's always got boyfriends coming in, because the moon's there. It's a good planet. It's going to bring in people in. Now, also here with the moon, it's her mum. So we can read the mum through the moon. So I can see that her and her mum would have a good relationship there. Now the moon being in Aquarius, so her mum is a different kind of mum. Her mum is not like the average mum. She would see her mum as being quite different, quite unique. A humanitarianism there aspect with her mum that she sees. She would see her mum as just her mum might be good with technology, very, very what's the word? Resourceful. There with her mum's she'll probably see her mum as a very unique person, individual too. And as I say, they would probably get along, good relationship there with her mum because it is in that 5th house. Now, when I'm going up here to the 8th house, and I will get both relationships when we get the transits because I can see that there's some stuff there in the transits. Now, the 8th house here. So we've got the 8th house is about other people's money. So this is money. They're all about other people with money. And she's got born with Chiron in this house. Now, this is not a great, not that great there because it is a money house. Even though she's always going to earn money, she's going to bring them in. That's great. But with the Chiron here, it's going to symbolize that she has pain with money. Okay, as we can see with conservatorship, it's brought her pain because when other people, she should be a person that shouldn't be lending out her money out to others. It's just, yeah, she should just keep the money for herself. And if she's going to give it out as gifts. Don't expect a return. She'll find it hard. But yeah, Chiron's our hard ass. It's a hard planet. It's where our emotional pain is, and this is where it is with people with people. You know, when it comes to other people's money or money lending or people having to deal with her money, this is where it's gonna cause her pain. She needs to be very smart in this area. Also, this can indicate debt too. But yeah, as we've seen with her, this is her emotional pain. I think we can see that though. We've seen that play out in her life. Then we've got, and it's also can indicate too when, she probably won't need it, but when time comes for inheritance, she's probably going to have a hard time with inheritance when the time comes with her parents. There might not even be anything there too. Now, when we go to the 10th house, which is the career, she's her life lesson. So she's here for this lifetime to learn about and to, it's her career as her lesson, life path. It's this for this lifetime. And also with that neutrino being in that Cancer aspect, she's the path of the nurturer. The soul is learning to nurture and to care about itself and those around it. So that's what she's here for in this lifetime. That's her soul purpose. That's her life lesson. And that's what it's here for this lifetime for her. And we can already see, her career. It's been, it makes sense why her life lesson is actually to do with her career, as we can see that. And, from early young, she's had to work very hard. And people with the Chiron take advantage of her a lot. This is something she needs to pay more attention about. And then if we go down to here to the 12th house, which is it's a funny house, the 12th house. It's where we hide things. It's hospitals, it's institutions. It's also secrets. So she could actually be someone that could hold secrets in. She could hold other people's secrets in as well. And having Mars here, as I said, when I said before, she could hide her anger and also hide her strength too, because that Mars is there in that 12th house. So Mars is strength. It also can be anger, frustration, and she hides that. And I think we don't really see her if she's having a bad, yes, when she had that meltdown, we saw that wasn't that great. And I said I could see that for a past transit that would have been there. But in terms of other than that, we don't see that strength in her. We don't see when she does get angry, she doesn't, as I said, only when we had that meltdown did we see that anger come out, and we saw how angry she could get because of that Pluto. But usually she's very good at hiding it as well. Okay, but also having that Mars there, she's actually bringing aggression in from a past life, because the 12th house can also be to do with past lives. And so she's bringing in aggression from a past life too into this life. So it's like an unresolved sort of issue that's coming up for her. Now, that's her natal. I'm going to only go that far into the natal. There's more in depth we can go, but just for this case. Oh, yes. Also, I'm going to add to it that so the way that when it comes to love, the Britney, the Mars, so in a lady's chart, you look at the Mars to see what the soul is wanting to be attracted to. In a men's chart, we look at Venus. But then, so for her, she's actually into Virgo. So she likes men who are very organized, nitpicky men, perfectionists, likes things a certain way. That's the sort of guy that she kind of, or her soul sort of attracted to. Then when you bring that into the Venus, which is in Capricorn, so that's how she would sort of attract them or lure them in. So Capricorn's all about hard work. It's about being organized, structure. That is sort of how she attracts or lures the guys in. Also, I don't think she's going to be that much of an affectionate person as such, because of that Venus in a earth sign in Capricorn. Capricorns aren't very affectionate people. I mean, if you are Capricorn out there and you are, that means your Venus could be not in the earth sign, it could be in a fire sign, or a different sign that is shows more affection. But generally, earth signs aren't, especially a Capricorn. It's about strong. It's not about being. It's about being strong. And she wouldn't be someone who's overly. I wouldn't say who's maybe overly affectionate. I am someone who has their Venus in Capricorn. And because I'm an Aquarian as well, so I'm not very affectionate at all. I don't like people hugging me. So for her, she might not be as bad as me, because she's a sun sign, which are more affectionate people. But yeah, okay. So that's the natal. Now, as a transit, I can see now. Look, she's got some hard transits coming up. Okay, and some good ones. We always have good and bad. I tend not to really read planets as just the sun, moon, and transit, or Venus in a transit. I would think it's going to be retrograde. Yeah, maybe. And the same with Mercury, but I will read Mercury only because we are going to have Mercury retrograde coming up. So Mercury will be in this first house, and it will probably have a lot to do with what's going on. Okay. So she's got Mercury in his first house. Okay. So it will come out of this house, probably coming out. You're looking in November, so it'll come out of this house. So the first house, so for her, it's going to be communication. Okay. Now, don't forget, Libra is all about justice. So it is about the law system. It's all about, pleasing people. And so I dare say there's something going to happen, I'd say, in this court case with his Mercury retrograde. So it could go in her favor. I mean, but Mercury sometimes things don't work well, but it's also about finishing off things in the past as well coming up. It could go in her favor. So like justice. So I have a feeling she needs to talk more in the court system as well. I do feel like that's the thing is with her with money. See, she needs to learn how to deal with money herself and be careful, because as I say, that Chiron there in that 8th house, it's just going to cause her pain if she lets people. It's a hard one. She needs to learn to be money smart herself. If she can learn to be her own smart with her own money, and not to trust people, but just use a brain, which she has. She's a good thinker. Then she would be okay. So this is it's a hard one. It's a hard one indeed. But we'll do some cards at the end. I always do cards in these readings as well. But I mean, she has kind of already run. Dad has stepped away. There's more of her freedoms back, but at the same time, she needs to not be as risky, and she needs to be head smart with her money. Now, she's also going to have a bit of frustration. Oh, where are we? Okay, I'm going to go to Venus. We got here. She's got down here in the 4th house. She's got Pluto. Okay, Pluto is about that transformation. It's the Phoenix of the zodiac. So it's Pluto here, and it's been there for a long time. We're looking over 10 years. It's been in this house for her. That it's about movement. So she's probably moved a lot of changes around the home, a lot of family, and we've seen that over the years. Okay, I dare say when she had that meltdown, it would have been because I dare say she would have had Pluto over the sun. I think that's when Pluto would have been over here. And I think that's what caused the meltdown. Just trying to think, could have been a Chiron. No, Chiron wouldn't have been there. no, it wouldn't have been there at that point. Trying to think. I don't think so. Might have been. I can go back and just see, but I'm not going to try and think of what year it was. That was about 2000. Actually, we can go back from 2006, I think it was. So I go back and just show you when she had that meltdown, what was happening. So if I go 2006, because I'm pretty sure 2006. When it was, yeah, it was because she had Pluto going through hitting the sun and also hitting Neptune. That's what's caused the meltdown with her. She'd also had problems with the loved one, which would have been the Chiron, here with the Venus, and then she, out of the dissolve, she also had Neptune over there. She had a lot going on. Okay, you can already see that. Let's go back to now. Okay, let's have a look here. Go back to 21. Okay, so right now, Pluto over Venus. Okay, I actually have this transit in my chart at the moment. This means that she's either going to have problems or a big change with a loved one or money. Okay, now, whatever Pluto's going to take away, it doesn't bring it back, but it's like, as I said, the phoenix. So it's about, it's about rebirth. It's about change. So potentially she could lose a lot of money, or she could even lose a loved one. This could also potentially mean that someone could, when I find this transit, it can mean that a loved one may even pass. It could mean that. Or it could also mean that she just doesn't get along with them anymore. They walk away from her. They will come back. I said it's the phoenix. It's like a death and transformation. It's a change. That's why I say it could be someone could pass around her, a loved one, or could mean that she loses money as well. There's a change with money. Being in the 4th house, and it has been a house over 10 years, it's going to change over the home and family. So a lot of movement over the home, changes in the home, and there's more to come. So red home and family, she's got another at least 5 or more years to go in this house with Pluto. It's a very slow moving planet. Now, it's no coincidence that she actually got engaged to the boyfriend, because she does have Jupiter in that 5th house, which is luck with relationships and children. So it is not by coincidence. We just follow the planets. And Jupiter, abundance, planet of luck, in that 5th house. So that's why she would have got engaged right now. Is the relationship going to last? Which I can see with the transits that are coming up for her, even like after that Jupiter leaves, which will be next year. It's going to leave that house and go into the 6th. No, she's got some hard transits here. Okay, so she's got Saturn, she's got Jupiter, the luck, which is great. She's got Saturn here, okay, and she's got Chiron in the 7th. So she's going to get emotional. We know she gets emotional when it comes to relationships. They come in, but they're not seem to lasting, and it's because of the transits that have been coming into her. And unfortunately, she's not going to be happy with relationships and find that one that's going to stick around for forever. It's not going to be a while yet, because she's going to go through, especially it's going to be harder for her when this Jupiter comes out next year and goes into that 6th house. She's going to have Saturn in this 5th house. There's going to be problems with relationships, and this is going to be her partner, but also relationships around her too. It's not going to be easy for her. And then we match that with the 7th house, which is the marriage house. She's got Chiron here, so emotional pain. So it's not, unfortunately, I'd love to say yes, it's going to work out for her. And I mean, she's got a bit of luck coming up in a couple of years' time. And so next year, she'll have, or towards the end of next year, when Jupiter goes to that 7th house, maybe that's when she gets married, or she gets along better with her partner. It's another good time for her relationships. But after that happens, it's not going to be great, because she's got the Chiron here, which is not great for relationships. It's the emotional pain coming with the Saturn in the 5th, with the problems with relationships. It's just, yeah, it's not great. and then when as we get along further in time, she's going to have Neptune up in the 7th, which is dissolved with relationships. So it's going to be a long time unfortunately, before relationships ends up being good for her. So we're going to see probably a lot of breakups for her. Yeah, it's going to be a while before we see her actually happy in love. So unfortunately, let's just hope that she is using her brains and that she is getting a prenup for this person that she's involved with at the moment, because otherwise it's not going to end well. Now, when we've got Neptune here in the 6th, so Neptune in a health house, I see it as any health issues that are going to come up. It's like they're not going to find out what's actually wrong. When you have Neptune in a health sign, or a health house, I should say, it indicates to me that when health issues do occur, that you might need to get a second opinion, because people can't seem to find what's wrong with you. Okay, so she may have some health issues. She may have already had some health issues there, and we know that there has been some stuff there, but she might have been wrongly diagnosed. Like, they might not have actually known what's actually wrong with her. So it's about getting more than one opinion. So that's what she should really do. Then up here, she's got in the money from other people. She's got unexpected money coming in. So it's been there for a while. So it's been there for at least for the last 4 or 5 years. So it's, quite good money. And it's gonna be there for another 4, maybe even 6 years, perhaps, in this house for her, which is quite good. However, definitely coming up probably more next year and the year after, she's going to have unexpected pain come up. So again, she's coming up to a hard transit coming up soon for her. But on a positive note, she will be having unexpected money coming in. So this could actually help her with the money, with the court case. But if it does, it will be unexpected for her. Okay, so unusual, unexpected. So they're her transits that are coming up at the moment. If I was to go forward in a year's time, so that we can just see what's going to happen in a year. Okay, I use this website. It's free. This is the one I use because it's free. I probably will buy Astrology at some point, but for now, this works for me quite well. So in a year's time, as we can say, this time next year, so she's had Jupiter go through the 6th house, has brought her luck, it's got her abundance, and it's coming to the 7th, so good. That is good for her for relationships. So as I said, she will have a good in the meantime, but she's going to have some problems when that goes but wherever Jupiter is luck. So even though relationships for her won't be great, by the time it's out of the 7th and goes into the 8th, which will be 2023, she'll have money. So it'll be a good time for money, especially when she's got that Uranus there. So 2023, good for her for the career, all money coming in. Now, next year, she's going to have Saturn, because this has jumped up a lot. She's going to have Saturn next year over the moon. This is going to indicate some problems in the home for her. It's going to come up. So probably looking earlier in the year when this happens, but it's definitely going to have problems around the home for her. And even like her emotions, she might not be feeling the best when that happens as well. Okay, so she's got a few things coming up. And even in December, once we have that December having that Venus retrograde, and it's probably going to be conjuncting with her Pluto and over the Venus, there's something, probably a lover from her past might even come back for her as well. It could be, a past loved one coming back into her life too, to help her out, quite possibly. Okay, so that is all that I'll cover today in the chart reading. So I will go back and we will do some cards to see what's coming up for her as well. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Okay. So let's just do some cards. Let's see what I can get out for Britney Spears. Okay. What am I going to use? I'm going to use my cat deck. I might use 2 decks. So I'll use this one. Okay. Let's have a look. Okay, let's look at the court case. See. Look, I feel like she's very confused over this case. It's confusing. Like she wants her freedom, but she doesn't want the mistakes to be made. I feel like there is medication that she's taking. I know she's admitted it, but there is medication that she's taking, and it is making her think more slowly about everything as well. She really needs to learn to stand her ground, but to she just puts on a positive face. Okay, let's have a look, see if I can get. Look, I do feel that I know it is going more in her favor, and I do feel like there's a positive there for her. But with that, she just needs to be so careful with her money. She really does. Okay. And I feel like her son is I don't know which one it might be, the older one. He's going to want money. He wants money. I know they're quite young, but it's something with him with money. He might even take over in her footsteps too. I haven't looked at the sun's charts. Okay, let's have a look to see what we're going to get here. She just wants love. I really feel like she just wants love. I feel like there's a change of medication she needs to take as well, but I'm not a doctor, but I just feel like there's a change in what she needs. It's almost like it's like Ritalin. I don't know if she's taking that's what we use here in Australia for like ADHD. It's quite popular for that. Okay. Look, she's got a fight coming on her hands. But in saying that, she is going to come out of this, okay? She is going to come out, I feel like, on top. So I feel like she will get her freedoms back. But I still feel like that there will be some sort of conservatorship, which will probably be better for her. She needs this person will be like a lawyer or some sort of law person. But she just needs to be careful when it comes with money with her. Because I'll get worried about that Chiron there. Okay. Yeah, there's going to be a shark circling around her. Okay, it's like people they want of her. Okay, she's like the breadwinner, the money. She's like the money bags. Okay, the battle's not over, and everything real. I guess what the Tower cards come out. So there's, destruction going to come over. But I do see her as a bit of a fight coming up. As I said, like there's sharks coming around her. She needs to be prepared for a battle. She also needs to be prepared how to articulate her words, which she's a good communicator. We know that by her chart. But I feel like she's going to come. I do feel like she'll come out on top, and she needs to let her emotions get the better of her. And I think what we see, what the media, I guess, projects is only the surface. There's more to this that we just don't know what's actually going on with her. There are a lot of things hidden that we don't see, to do with her mental. I'm a Britney fan myself. I like Britney. With her mental aspect, she really needs to be smart and switched on with her money. That's what I really feel. And like I can see, she'll always earn money. And I do feel like she wants to tour as well. I kind of feel like she's going to go back to Vegas, maybe even as well, and back to work. Like I do feel like she will go back to work. So I do feel like she will be making an unexpected comeback coming in, probably when that Jupiter goes into that 8th house. But there is a comeback coming for her, with I feel like with good solid music, but she needs to have a clear head. And I mean, she just needs to stop taking risks, basically. But it's hard. She's a Sagittarius. It's hard. It's hard about that. And she needs to look. It's hard. Look, I do feel like she will triumph. She will come out of this and go into a better place. However, and I do feel like she'll be on top of things, but she's still got a bit of a fight to go. And she just needs to be very careful, because I feel like she's got so many people around her asking for the hands out, asking for money, for for her. And it's like she has a lot. She knows that she does as well. But I do feel like with the right people around her, she could definitely shine, and she could definitely do so much unbelievable things. Like so much potential there for her. But it's going to come after this bite. So that's what I get. That's what I get with her with that. The relationship, unfortunately, I don't see it lasting. I really don't. And I see the planets don't lie. And whatever I see heartache with her coming up. So while it's good now, she may get married with next year. It could be with that Jupiter coming in that 7th house, could potentially be where she gets married. However, I just don't feel like it's not going to last. Unfortunately, it's not going to last. Let's have a look. Some more cards for her. What's this going to happen with her? It's like she's on a leash. Even if this conservatorship ends, she's still on a leash. There's still someone there going to controlling her. It's like she needs to clear her mind. She really needs to clear her mind, and she needs to just have a clean living environment around her, and it's will keep her on track. Okay, that's what I feel like. Yeah, she's got business opportunities coming up for her. Definitely coming up for her. Look, she needs to use her intuition quite well. I will say that as well for her. And she wants that financial freedom. She wants the freedom to do whatever she wants. But can she handle it? That's the thing with her. I feel like there's going to be her and 2 other people around her to do the career. Like I feel like there's a female manager. I don't know who she manages, but I do feel like there's going to be a female manager with her who's going to look. I'm going to say who's going to look after her, but I just feel like she needs to be careful to not fall in the trap like Elvis Presley did with that manager that he had. That was controlling too much. I really feel like she needs to be careful not to fall in that same sort of trap with her. I'm saying she needs to really be smart and switched on as well, because I do feel like she has been drained out. There's a lot of emotion there with her with work. It has been a bit of an uphill battle, but there's definitely a job opportunity coming up for her. I feel like potentially even could be next year that comes up for her, because she's getting kind of sick of being at home. She wants something to sink her teeth into when it does come into work. So I do feel like that will come about for her. Okay. So I'm going to leave it there for the reading. So for Britney Spears. So I hope you found this interesting, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I've been doing weekly lives as well. And if you want me to do any other chart videos for anyone other celebrities, please put in the comment section, and I will try and do them when I can. So so bye for now, and I'll see you next time. Okay, let's have a look.